Hi YouTube, it's Tracy from Entrepreneur Girl, and today is Tracy's Tuesday Tips. And a couple of weeks ago we talked about a dozen common mistakes that eBayers make when listing their products, and today we're going to be talking a dozen common mistakes that Amazon listers use when listing their products. There are two different types of accounts on Amazon. There's the individual account and there's the pro account. And I see a lot of people choose the individual account because it is $39.95 cheaper. Yes, the individual account is free, but you do get charged 99 cents per item for each item that you sell. So if you're selling 40 items or more, it makes more sense to do the pro account. But I would like to encourage you to get a pro account and be selling greater than 40 items anyway, because if you're not, then it's really kind of like, what's the point? And also because when you have a pro account, you can create your own listings, you can create bundles and make your listings for those, and you can sell in all of those restricted categories. The second mistake I commonly see is that you don't use FBA or Fulfilled by Amazon. You stay with a merchant account where you ship your own items. When you send off to Fulfilled by Amazon, you're sending off to their warehouses. They handle everything for you. They handle all the customer questions, all the returns. They ship it out in their own boxes, in their own materials. All you have to do is simply ship your product to the warehouse and let Amazon do the rest. Yes, it's a little bit more expensive, but I have to tell you that my sales probably tripled when I started using it. You have access to all of the prime Amazon customers that want their items 2-day free shipping, so they're using the FBA and the Amazon products only. And that cost is offset by the expense that you would have in buying your own boxes and your own packing materials and the time that it would take you to ship off each individual item, plus the luxury of not having to ship those items. You can be traveling, you could be doing whatever you want, and simply letting Amazon do all the work for you. The third mistake that I commonly see is not following the Amazon rules. Follow all of the Amazon rules. Don't just dive in not reading any of the literature provided to you from Amazon. Go on the website, print up everything that they say, all of the guidelines that they say, print it, put it in a binder, and use it for reference. But know your rules. This isn't eBay, it's a more strict forum. The customers have a lot higher expectation, and you don't want to have your account closed. It's very hard to get back into the good graces of Amazon once you slip up. The fourth thing is not even trying for the buy box. According to Amazon, about 78% of all their sales come from the buy box. What is the buy box? Well, that's when a customer searches for an item and the page pops up with that item and you just click add to cart or buy it now. That is someone's product, and that is the buy box. And there's like the secret formula that nobody really knows how to get in the buy box, but some of the things that we do know is that your account has to be in good standings, have to be the lowest price including shipping, which works really well for the FBA people because they don't have any shipping, it's free shipping, and so the price is normally always lower than the merchant fulfilled people. If you sell an item that no one else has, you automatically get the buy box. Or if you use the Amazon bundle policy to create bundles and then create listings for them, then you automatically have the buy box because you don't have any other competition. Number 5, selling an item not exactly like the picture or the description will get you in a heap of trouble pretty fast. You want to make sure that when you click sell one like this, that it is exactly 100% like that. I get questions all the time. Well, it's the same blanket, but it's blue and not pink. Well, then you can't use it. It has to be exactly the same. Even if it's the same bracelet, but it has like a pink jewel instead of a blue jewel, or a green jewel instead of a purple jewel, you want to have an individual listing for each individual bracelet. They have to be exactly the same, because if a customer thinks that they're getting something with the blue gem and they're getting something that's pink, they're going to be upset, they're going to return, they're going to leave you negative feedback, and you're not going to get the sale anyway. Number 6, painting too good of a picture. Hey, I know you want the sale, and we think, well, if I make it sound really good, I'm going to get the sale. But the problem is that you make it sound too good. And then when a person gets your item, they're disappointed. And when they're disappointed, they're not happy and they're leaving you negative feedback, or they're returning your item. So if you have a book and it's in good condition or fair condition, list it as good or fair. Don't try to list it like new and then unpleasantly surprise your customers. You always want to pleasantly surprise them, make them happier than they thought they were going to be. So it's always a good idea to even make it sound slightly worse and have a happy customer and great feedback than the other way around. Number 7, not using some type of feedback system or review system. And I'm not going to go into detail about this week, because I actually want to do next week's Tuesday tips on this subject, where we talk about, what is a review system, what is a feedback system, and how you can utilize it in your eBay and Amazon business. Number 8, not striving to increase the average price per sale of your inventory or increasing the profit margin of your inventory. And I have other videos about this, but what I'm talking about here is on Amazon, you have a handling fee of about $1. You also have a pack and ship fee of $1. So you're talking about $2 per every item that you sell at Amazon. Well, if I'm selling a $10 item and I'm paying $2, that means that 20% right off the top is going towards fees. Well, if I have an item that is selling for $30 and I'm paying the same $2, then my percentage on my profit is a lot lower. You want to be increasing the price, your average sale price of your inventory product. So when I first started Amazon, I would just buy anything that I thought would create a profit, and then after a little bit I wanted at least $10 profit, because I realized that all the fees were eating such a huge a huge hole into my profit margin. And then now I'm trying to average about $20. So I don't always make that, because I still sell a lot of books, but I'm always striving to up my inventory, increase the average sale price of my inventory per item. I'm upping my average sale price. If I'm upping the quality of my inventory, then the percentage fees that I'm paying is obviously lower. So that is what I want to strive to do. Number 9, not packaging correctly. Listen, you really want to be packing those Amazon boxes correctly. You want to use strong boxes. You're not allowed to use styrofoam pellets in your shipping. So you really want to make sure that you're following the Amazon guidelines when shipping off those boxes. And when it comes to individual products, you need to make sure that you're using the poly bags. You need to make sure that you have your choking hazard labels, when they're called for. You need to make sure that you have the correct labels on your products. So many times I hear of people putting the wrong labels on their products, and they might have a lot of the same type of product but with color variations or others, some other small variation, and they just are putting the labels on thinking that they do it right, and they don't find out until it's too late that they have actually made a mistake, and they put the blue on the green or the pink on the purple, and someone's really unhappy. So make sure that you have clear bags that you can see through, so that you can check the item before you put your label on it. Number 10, we talked about in eBay, the same thing we're going to talk about here, and that is making the mistake of misspellings, making the mistake of not using keywords in your item descriptions and titles, and basically just not standing out with your competition. So you can position your product better than your competition. You can say that it's family friendly. You can say that it's luxurious. You can say that it's healthy. You can stick out from other competition by just adding a few keywords. So you want to make sure to include the title, the brand, the manufacturer, you know, the important pertinent information about your product. Descriptive words, lead free, it's an Italian collection. All of those will help you get to sell. Number 11, not using a scanning app. I am so surprised at how many people still aren't using scanning apps to scan for their products when trying to choose inventory to ship off to Amazon FBA. Scanning apps is probably the number one thing I could tell you to do. If you have not invested in a scanning app, please do. There's the Amazon app that's free. There's Profit Bandit, which is like $10 a month. You know, there's so many options. You don't have to get a really expensive scanning app, but I would suggest that you get a scanning app, because when you go into a store and you're scanning for inventory and you're scanning for products, you really need to make sure that you're making a profit. And on these apps, you can enter in how much you're paying for it, and it will show you how much you can sell it for. It automatically shows you all of your fees, and it's not always 100%, but for the most part, it's going to save you from making some really big mistakes. And you can be more selective with the inventory that you're buying. You can set parameters on some of these apps where you can have certain profit margins, you know, certain profit amounts that you want, and I just really encourage you to get the app. Last thing, number 12. Understand sales rank, understand competition, understand categories. These are 3 key things when choosing inventory. Sales rank typically for a beginner is under 100,000. As we progress, then we typically want our sales rank to be under 500,000. You know, make sure that you know the categories and that you're listing your products in the correct categories so they're not being missed, you know, right along with someone searching them and they can't find it because it's in the wrong category. And not all categories sell the same. So some categories are going to sell a lot faster than other categories. So you want to make sure your product's in the right category. You want to make sure that it has a really good sales rank. And then you want to keep an eye on the competition. Is it flooded with other people selling the exact same thing? You know, or do you just have a few that your product's better? The 3 areas that you really want to be mindful of when searching for your product. Those are the dozen common mistakes I see and hear about all the time. People asking me about on the YouTube channel or on the Facebook Amazon 360 group, and here recently with my email coaching clients. So I hope this was helpful today. I look forward to seeing you next video. Please like below and subscribe if you haven't already. Bye guys.